The spiritual significance of journaling. In an age where the noise of the external world constantly competes for our attention, the quiet act of putting pen to paper remains one of the most accessible yet profoundly transformative spiritual practices available to us. Long before journaling was codified into productivity hacks or self care trends, it existed as a sacred container, a portable altar where the human soul could meet itself without defense or disguise. To open a journal is to step out of the relentless stream of doing and enter the silent, timeless realm of being. It is a deliberate deceleration, a sacred pause that signals to the universe that we are ready to listen to the whispers of our inner life rather than the demands of our daily obligations. At its deepest level, journaling serves as an act of spiritual alchemy. The physical movement of writing carries our raw, unformed thoughts, fears, and longing out of the ethereal, relentless energy of the mind and grounds them into tangible reality. On the blank page, our suffering loses its formless terror, our hidden joys find expression, and the subtle movement of the divine becomes visible. The journal acts as a mirror for the soul, stripping away the roles we play and the masks we wear in public life. In that unvarnished space, we engage in witnessing the high spiritual practice of observing our thoughts, emotions, and life patterns with compassionate detachment. Through this process, the blank page becomes a sanctuary where truth can be spoken without judgment, where doubt is honored as a threshold to deeper faith, and where the quiet, persistent voice of our higher self finally finds room to speak. Welcome to the Sovereign Renaissance, a channel through the mystical, arcane, and occult science. Journaling repressed emotion is essentially an act of shadow work, a process of making the subconscious conscious. Spiritually, suppressing or repressing emotions creates energetic blockages in the subtle body. When you force a feeling down, it doesn't vanish. It gets stored as stagnant energy or density within your field, often creating physical tension, anxiety, or spiritual disconnect. Here is a look at the spiritual significance of journaling to meet and release these heavy emotions. Reclaiming disowned parts of the soul. In many spiritual traditions, emotional repression occurs when a part of yourself is deemed unacceptable by your ego or societal conditioning. By writing down suppressed anger, grief, shame, or fear without judgment, you are giving those exiled parts a safe space to exist. This practice facilitates soul retrieval, integrating fragmented aspects of yourself back into a cohesive, whole conscious awareness. Clearing energetic blockages. From an energetic or chakra perspective, unexpressed emotions tend to lodge in specific centers: heart center, unprocessed grief and betrayal; the throat center, unspoken truths and silenced anger; the solar plexus, shame and loss of personal power. Writing acts as a bridge between the unseen, or your inner emotional landscape, and the physical world, or the ink on paper. The physical act of moving the pen transfers dense internal energetic patterns out of the body, restoring the natural flow of spiritual energy, also known as prana or chi. Cultivating the witness consciousness. Spiritually, you are not your emotions. You are the awareness observing them. When emotions are repressed, you unconsciously react to them. Journaling allows you to step into the role of the witness or observer. When you see your innermost fears written on paper, a subtle distance forms. You realize, I am experiencing anger, but I am not angry itself. I am not anger itself. This detachment is critical for spiritual liberation. Transmutation and alchemy. Spiritual alchemy is the practice of turning dense, heavy energies or lead into light and wisdom or gold. Raw, suppressed emotions carry intense energy. When you bring them to light through journaling, you allow them to complete their natural life cycle. Grief turns into compassion. Suppressed anger transforms into healthy boundaries and vitality. A simple journaling practice. To turn journaling into a spiritual ritual rather than just an intellectual exercise, ground and center. Take a few slow, deep breaths, light a candle, or set an intention to hold space for whatever arises without self criticism. Write without censor. Don't worry about grammar, elegance, or neatness. Let the pen move let the pen move continuously for 5 to 10 minutes. Express raw, unedited thoughts. Perform a release ritual. Once written, if the words feel heavy or sensitive, you can symbolically release them. Safely burn the paper or tear it up or bury it, signifying that you have extracted the lesson and released the density. Ultimately, to close a journal is not to end a conversation, but to seal a covenant between who we are and who we are becoming. Each filled page stands as a quiet monument to self awareness, a paper trail of the soul's slow, deliberate awakening through seasons of shadow and illumination. When we regularly lay bare our deepest truths upon the page, we begin to realize that the journal was never merely a record of where we have been, but a map guiding us back to the center of our own being. It leaves us anchored in a chaotic world, grounded by the sacred knowledge that the wisdom we spend so much of our lives searching for on the outside has been awaiting patiently within us all along. As you place your pen aside and step back into the rhythm of daily existence, You carry with you the quiet power of a soul that has been seen, heard, and understood by its own hand. The paper may rest, but the alchemy continues. The insights harvested in those quiet moments will subtly shift how you move through the world, how you respond to pain, and how you receive joy. Journaling reminds us that life is not a series of random events to be survived, but a sacred narrative awaiting to be understood. And as long as you have a pen and a blank page, the courage to be honest, and you remain the active, conscious author of your own spiritual evolution. If you liked this episode, please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.